So you guys may have noticed that my channel has been down for a few weeks. Here's how my entire Google account got stolen and how my YouTube channel got deleted twice. It's Christmas Eve and all is quiet, and I get a DM on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's a guy asking about sponsoring a video, and he says he's from Logitech, specifically Logitech G. His handle is Jamal Logitech, and he tells me that Logitech G has a new keyboard, mouse, and headphone set that are going to be released soon, and they want to promote them on YouTube. I scroll through his profile on X, and I see that he's posted about nothing but Logitech G. He's got a link to his LinkedIn profile, which is a legit profile, guy named Jamal who works at Logitech G, and he's even got a blue check mark. Verified legit, right? I was in a trusting mood and I decided that this guy was who he said he was without verifying that he had an email address from a legitimate Logitech domain. This was oversight number one in a series of unfortunate and horrible events. After a couple DMs, he says that he wants me to sign an NDA if he's going to give me any information about the products and about how we would go about promoting them. I haven't had to sign an NDA before for any other thing that I've promoted on my channel, but I figured this is a big company, maybe they have a little bit more strict regulation. He sends me a link to a Zoho DocuSign website and sends me a code that I can put in and it will pull up the document that I need to sign. Now this link he sends me wasn't zoho.com, it was actually zoho.us.org. I really didn't notice this though until later. This was oversight number two. Anyway, there's a spot to enter your code, so I go ahead and enter my code and it pulls up the document that I need to read and sign. I read it pretty carefully, but it was pretty generic, pretty much stating that I couldn't divulge any of the information that we would discuss until after the product was released, and this was just an agreement that we were going to discuss a product that had not been released yet. Everything seemed above board, although there wasn't any watermark with Logitech logos or anything like that, which should have been a red flag to me, but that's oversight number 3. Next, it came to signing the document, where the website told me that I needed to download a signing tool. Now, I'm pretty new to DocuSign. I've only used them once or twice, but I'm pretty sure I've had to download a signing tool in the past. I could be wrong, but I know for sure that some DocuSign companies use Google Chrome extensions. So I go ahead and I download the file. And this was oversight number 4. So I downloaded this tool and it's an executable file, and I can't remember if I opened it, but I think I must have. But my antivirus immediately picked it up and just deleted the file. Then I started getting notifications. And when I say notifications, I mean a flood of notifications. They were coming in on my Android device asking me if it was me who made a sign-in attempt. If you're familiar with Google and Android and you have an Android phone and this has ever happened to you, you'll be familiar with this little thing that pops up asking if it was you or if it's someone else. It's a check by Google to make sure that the person who's trying to sign in is actually you. So I start frantically spamming the "no, it's not me" button, but there are hundreds of notifications and I just can't keep up with them. Then the notifications suddenly stop, and I get a notification via my backup email for that Google account telling me that my 2-factor authentication settings have been changed, and then everything goes quiet on that email as well. I get signed out of my Google account on every device that it's signed in on, and this is my personal Google account, which means my Google Photos is signed out, my Google Contacts is signed out. People text me, I don't know who it is because it's my Google Contacts. My Google Mail is signed out, my Google Keep with all my notes, everything is gone. During all this commotion, my Google Chrome has closed on my PC. So I try to open it again to go to my YouTube channel, and I can't open Chrome. I found out later that whatever I downloaded must have changed a setting in Google Chrome so that I couldn't open it, and I've been able to fix that, that's not a problem. But I opened Microsoft Edge and I searched my YouTube channel, and I see that it's already live streaming a crypto scam to my 42,000 subscribers. At this point, I know what's happened. I've seen this before because I saw this with Paul Hibbert and Linus Tech Tips, and I know that that's what they were after. Any attempt I made to try to access or restore my Google account, I was met with the requirement of using some other method of verification, and all of those other methods of verifications had been changed by the hijacker, so I got nothing at this point. Now, at this point, I'm more worried about my Google account because of all the personal stuff on there, because I made a big mistake and connected my YouTube channel to my personal Google account. I do what I've seen Paul Hibbert and some other YouTubers do when this happens to them, and I reached out to Team YouTube on Twitter. I actually reached out to Google first, and while responding to me, I also reached out to Team YouTube. They asked me to send them a DM and I could give them a secondary email address, and we began communicating there. And soon enough, I was actually emailing a human, which is a huge deal. One thing I found with this, you gotta get in touch with a human. However, this email communication is slow, and remember, this is Christmas Eve, so what human is actually emailing on Christmas Eve? Next, I reached out to the Home Assistant Creator Network, all the creators that are posting Home Assistant content, and asked if any of them happen to have a contact at Google or YouTube that I could talk to. Paulus, the founder of Home Assistant, happened to have a contact at Google, and he was able to put him in contact with me on Christmas Eve, and I spent most of the evening and late into the night communicating with his contact, trying to figure out the situation. He was pivotal in me getting my Google account back, and I am forever in his debt for that. I had to give tons of information: where my account was created, how long ago it was created, what my phone number was at the time of creation. I gave my AdSense account information and anything I could possibly think to prove this account was mine. All the while, I'm actually emailing this human at YouTube Partner Support, trying to get things straightened out, and they're giving me all different forms to fill out and trying to move this process. But it seems like even the humans at YouTube aren't 100% sure which forms I should fill out. Sometime on Christmas Day, though, I was sent an email to my backup email account with a link to reset my Google account password. And from there, I was able to go in and reset all my two-factor authentication and even add a couple layers of security there. Next, I tried to sign into my Google account on my phone again so I could get access to all the Google stuff on there. But it stopped me and said that my parent had to approve my sign-in. They had added my account as a child in a Google family link. By going to accounts.google.com and signing in there with my password that now worked, I was able to take a look at my account and see the family group that I was in. To my surprise, I found that I was part of a larger family than I thought. There was at least one other YouTuber that had also been scammed and put in this same family link. In the Google documentation, with the help of Paulus's contact at Google, I was able to find out that I could leave the family since my account wasn't technically a child account, but was rather a supervised member in that family. This meant that they hadn't changed my age information, so there was an option to leave the family group, stopping the supervision. At this point, my Google account seemed pretty secure because I was out of the family group and I had full control of the account with all the security settings changed. Now I wanted to check on my YouTube channel. Navigating to it, I saw the devastating message that my channel had been terminated due to a third-party trademark violation. Now, these are serious because they are legal, not just a community guidelines violation, but an actual legal issue. Anyway, I continued emailing the YouTube partner support, trying to get them to understand that I also needed my channel back, but my Google account was all good. It was just the channel that was still down. And then I got the devastating message from them, and I will read it to you. Unfortunately, there are no further actions we can take for you to regain access to your channel at this time. Our team cannot resolve trademark terminated channels. We are unable to proceed due to process limitations. If I told my boss I couldn't proceed due to process limitations, he would tell me, figure it out. I couldn't believe it. There's nothing they could do to get my account back. So my response was, you need to do more. Literally, that's what I said. You need to do more. I pretty much begged them to reinstate my channel, and they ended up sending me a link to a form where I could contest this trademark violation, but I had to specify that my account had been hijacked and use the word hijack so that they could look into it properly. Filling out this form actually gave me a claim number, and this claim number is key. If you have a terminated account, you need to get that claim number, especially if it's trademark termination, if I understand it correctly, because that's a legal issue. And getting that claim helps the internal team dig into your issue, which is a group of humans and not some sort of automated process. Paulus's contact at Google had pretty much warned me that this needs to get in front of a human, and the human I was emailing at YouTube Partner Support didn't seem to have much power or authority, and they were waiting on the internal team. So they really couldn't do anything else, I guess. Now, here in the US, a lot of people take vacation between Christmas and New Year's. So I'm trying to get all of this stuff fixed by a human between Christmas and New Year's. So I didn't hear anything about this channel except for me continually bugging the YouTube partner support human on the other end of that email every single day trying to get some sort of update on my channel. Then this past Tuesday, January 7th at 6:20 in the morning, while I'm still asleep, my channel gets reinstated. No warning, nothing, just boom, your channel's back. And the worst part, it still has all of the scam videos on there. Now, Paulus's contact at Google had warned me that if you get that channel back, go on and delete anything related to that scam, because if you don't, their automated systems are going to pick it right back up and your channel will be right back down. So I get on my channel and I start deleting those live streams of the crypto scam as fast as I could. I changed my account image back to what it was. I changed the banner back to what it was, changed the handle back to what it was. I even had to go to my YouTube homepage, and there was a playlist from a different channel promoting the scam, and I had to get rid of that playlist. And I tried to set everything back to the way it was. But apparently I missed one live stream because an hour or so later, I saw, oh, there's a live stream from that scam that had been going on still on my channel. So I deleted that. But unfortunately, a few hours later, my channel's back down, terminated again, but this time for community guidelines violation and not a third-party trademark claim. So I sent an email to the YouTube partner support, hoping to get that human on the end and ask them to please try to reinstate my account. Because at this point, there's nothing I can do. It's the second time this has happened. At the same time, when I tried to go onto my channel to manage it in YouTube Studio, I was met with the fact that it had been taken down, but I could appeal the claim if I wanted to. Since I had deleted the video I thought was the offending video, I put in the claim and mentioned all the same information. I've been hijacked, this is when it happened, all the information I put in about 20 times on 20 different forms, and submitted that, and I was told that I should hear back in 72 hours. 3 days later, and that's today as I'm recording this, I was notified that my channel's been reinstated and they found no community violations on the channel. Finally, I've got this channel back and wow, am I relieved. So what lessons have I learned from this? And while there are a lot of them, and I'm not even going to list them all here, but just some of the important ones and ones that I hope can help other people. First, learn from the mistakes of others. Not only has a similar scam happened to Paul Hibbert, but even Linus Tech Tips. And when this was going on, there was a chat from a bunch of smart homers that Paul was part of where he was explaining what happened to him. That's always stuck in the back of my mind, but somehow I let my guard down and it happened to me too. Paul Hibbert has been a huge help because he's been kind of talking me through this, although he can't really do much to help me. He's had some good tips for things that have helped him and who he reached out to. So it's great to have someone who's already been through it and has come out okay on the other side. Thanks, Paul. Next point, always, always, always verify that a sponsor or a potential collaborator has an email address that comes from a legitimate domain that you trust. If you're in a similar situation to me and you're trying to get a human, I found the best way is to reach out on X to Team YouTube, and you should be in contact with a human at some point, even if it is slow and you're panicking and you want a solution now. The reality is a solution now is just not going to happen, but your best bet to get in contact with a human is to do that. They can point you to the right forms that you need to fill out to get things back to normal. Regarding Google accounts, never use a personal Google account to manage your YouTube channel. That's because you open so many different things using your personal account that one weak point could then compromise your channel as well. Not only that, but if someone is targeting your YouTube channel, they're going to get your personal information along with it, which may be even scarier, especially if your channel isn't that big and your personal information is a lot more important to you. Also, I really think that this problem was browser related, having to do with the fact that I was logged into the Google account that manages YouTube on the browser I was using to do the DocuSign. And I think that's how they got access to YouTube. So for that kind of thing, don't use a browser that is logged into an account that manages your YouTube channel, and maybe you can avoid that. Next, and this is a little bit more general, but as a content creator, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Losing my channel also meant losing contact with my channel members. And these are people that care enough to spend a little bit of their money to help support the channel, and they're invested really in this channel and seeing new videos come out. It was so tough on top of everything else that's going on, knowing that I have no way to let my channel members know what's going on. Now, channel members did receive an email saying that their membership had been paused, and then when my channel was restored, they got one saying it was unpaused. But that's the only communication they get, and that can cause some worry for them, especially if they've been investing in the channel for a while. So because of this not being able to contact them and not wanting to put all my eggs in one basket, I decided to create a Patreon. I'm going to create similar price tiers over on Patreon as I already have for YouTube channel memberships, and I'll put the same perks and maybe even add some more over on Patreon. So if my channel members want to move over there, or if in the future people want to help support the channel, they can go to Patreon rather than to YouTube, and I wouldn't risk losing as much if this were ever to happen again. That way too, all of my other videos will also exist on Patreon, so my members will still be able to refer to my videos even if my channel is down. One last thing, I've realized through this whole ordeal that my YouTube channel can be gone in an instant. The helplessness that I felt during this whole ordeal really shook my wife and I, and it made me realize how quickly things can happen. YouTube can shut my channel off whenever they want. This isn't my full-time job, but the money I do make on this channel really helps out. And since our 5th kid is due in February, anything we can earn extra is a big help. Anyway, I got to the point where I accepted that I may never get this channel back, and the next morning, it was reinstated. Yes, it was taken down again, but then it was reinstated. This is a bit more personal, but I'm a Christian, and I believe that anything that happens does happen for a reason, and that God allows it to happen, and there was a reason He let this happen. Even if it's only to make me appreciate this channel even more, He allowed for a reason, but that's for me to find out why. I do want to say, though, that it's really made me appreciate the things that matter more than this YouTube channel. What's really important to me, which is my Lord and my family. And it's made me realize that while this channel is a really fun hobby, it can be taken away just like that. Anyway, there's probably a lot of details that I left out, but hopefully this story explains my absence and can even be a cautionary tale or a help to other content creators that are going through the same thing. I really appreciate all you guys who stuck around despite the channel hijacking, and believe it or not, I only lost about 300 subscribers, which is crazy to me. I think it's because my channel got taken down so fast people couldn't unsubscribe. I'm really looking forward to the rest of my 2025 on YouTube, although I can't promise how consistent the videos are going to be, because after all, we're going to be a family of 7. Anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching. See ya.